positives, clean sheet. Negatives, consistent chance creation, I think, is something we can improve on, and that'll be something we look to do against a strong Montreal team that's coming off of a good result, scored 4 goals at home. Both teams now will be dealing with the fact that it's the third game in a week and in some fairly warmer weather. There's injuries, there's suspensions that both teams will deal with. But again, we expect a really tough test, a team in Montreal that you can tell they're well coached, they're well drilled in the way that they try to pass out of the back, not dissimilar to Columbus for obvious reasons. And they have some really intricate movement within their group. So they're brave, home and away, they try and play. And we'll have to do a good job of being organized, try to turn them over as close to their goal as possible, and create chances. So at home now, we know the onus is on us to push the game. We'll need our fans again to be as incredible as they have been all year. We know that we're in a tough run of results at home. During those results, we've played some good stretches of soccer. But again, now we need to perform, find a way to get a goal, and then do what we do best, which is play with a lead.
Thanks, Jim. Joe Tansey.
Hey, Jim. How is Julian Carranza?
Yeah, Julian will be a game time decision, Joe. Again, has pain for sure in the foot. So again, he's doing everything to get ready for the game, to prepare for it. Obviously, we don't want to risk further injury or damaging anything, but he obviously wants to continue to score goals and be a part of the game. So he'll be up to tomorrow, probably up till about 7 o'clock. We'll know the final answer on that one.
To the point, if he doesn't play, Marcus had a pretty good shift with Union 2 last weekend. You got Chris and Ty a few more minutes on Wednesday.
Yeah.
How do you try and integrate all 3 of those guys, knowing that Mikel's got a lot of wear and tear on his legs and Julian isn't 100%?
Yeah, these things kind of come in waves. When there's challenges, it tends to sometimes multiply and becomes a little contagious. So on that same note, yesterday in training, Marcus took a pretty hard tackle, a good clean tackle, but he injured himself again, so he has a little bit of a setback. He won't be a part of the game tomorrow, so a little bit of an injury for him. So we'll have to adapt and adjust. We have a plan in place, obviously, if Julian's able to go, which would be great because he's such a quality player and a top striker. But if not, we have to kind of find a solution and a way to get a result at home. That's kind of our focus right now.
Hi, Jim. Good afternoon. Hope you can hear me okay.
Yep.
Okay. In terms of integrating some guys and obviously the rotating bodies that are coming and going for international appearances, where do you start, or where do you see a game like Montreal as one of those games where you start fitting in some of these midfield pieces that are going to have to be used at some point, whether it's this international break, the tournaments over the summer? Where do you see some of these bodies coming in and taking a part?
Yeah, I think that they'll, just with numbers and personnel that we have, we'll have to adjust and change, shape, formation. So you could see, in the coming weeks, a scenario where, there is a shift in formation. With this game, we still have, the full allotment of at least the guys that are healthy, players to choose from. We want to have a good performance before everyone leaves now for the national team, so there's motivation there. Going into a break, you want to have a good taste in your mouth, so we want to have a really strong performance, and there's no better place to do that than Subaru Park. So you'll see some fresh legs tomorrow for sure with our group. You guys have heard me talk before, though. If you get too cute in this league, four more guys changed. I'll just say the win percentage drops significantly, so we have to be smart about how we navigate that, but certainly want to get the right balance of guys in comfortable positions, guys with fresh legs, guys that have been starters for us a lot this year, obviously, and are more than capable of stepping up and doing a good job.
Additionally, I wanted to ask you about someone who I think was incredibly impactful to the organization. Just announced today through Club Deportivo Castellón that Harris Menunin has announced his retirement. Would love to hear your thoughts on him as not just a player, but as a person, because obviously you know that these guys are humans much more than we do. So if you could just share some words on him, on his career, etc.
It's funny, and I don't want to. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it, but yeah, I think they won't see this where they are. Yeah, look, I had a good conversation with Dick Schroeder, former coach here, who's utilized Harris as a player and has worked with him through the years. We both speak and understand, and you talk with Pat Noonan about Harris, and you share texts with those guys, just how professional, how talented, how important he was for our organization, putting his arm around, a Brendan Aronson, teaching those guys the way, Mark McKenzie, them watching what a true professional does, a guy that takes care of his body in such a way. I believe he has 9 goals this year in that league. Yes, had heard he will be playing his last game. I may or may not have done a video tribute that hopefully gets to him, and it was very heartfelt for me, and I can't say enough positive words about Harris. One of those guys that you talk about the culture shift and our improvement and growth as a club, where I say we're not perfect by any stretch, but was a guy that was a big part of us becoming a perennial playoff team, a team that was competing for things, and such a great human being and a winner. So love Harris, love everything he's about. There's always a place here in Philadelphia for him. We miss him at the club. If he wants to, would be an incredible coach, just because the way his brain works. He sees the game similar, I think, to myself, but also can see things that I can't, because he was such a phenomenal player and a better person off the field. So wish him nothing but the best in whatever the future holds. Great family man, and nothing but love for Harris.
Thank you, Jim. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thanks.
Jillian?
Thanks, Nico. Hi, Jim. I noticed, I know you just mentioned Marcus took a knock. How have you felt he has done in training and his performance with Union 2? Like, what has stood out and impressed you the most? And how do you envision his role and the impact he can make, like whether in a spot start or off the bench when he's healthy?
Yeah, look, unfortunately for Marcus, it's been very stop and start. If you remember early in the season, he was getting a couple starts with the first team, doing well, took a knock, had some unlucky things go against him with injuries, and hasn't gotten into a consistent rhythm, which is hard for any player. It's hard to go from, first team training to playing second team trainings to getting injured to being healthy to getting out on the field, scoring 2 goals, and then coming back and taking another knock. So it's hard. But with all players, there's going to be highs and lows. We still see him as a player that really can contribute a lot to the first team. He's done well in training. But, it is a big jump, right, from the scoring goals at the second team to producing on the field for the first team. I think everybody would understand and agree is a very big step, but he's shown some promising moments with the second team, and unfortunately got injured in training yesterday. So he's going to be a guy that we're going to lean on and need in these upcoming games for sure. So hopefully he's able to recover quickly, get healthy, and then go again.
Jim, with the defense playing so well right now, with Leon, Jack, and Jacob, but you have Damien and you have Jose, and probably the last time you're going to use them for a while. How do you balance keeping that consistency, but also 2 starting caliber players sitting on your bench and getting them minutes?
For sure.
What's the decision like there?
It's tough. It's a big decision because it's a hard one, When you are keeping clean sheets, you don't like to adjust your back 4, right? Because that means you're doing good things. The goalkeeper's making saves, obviously. But we still also know that, and Joe, and we talked about it already, we have to be more dangerous too. And we have to be brave, and we have to use some fresh legs. Even though we have gotten clean sheets, you will see some of the names that you mentioned. So we have to find that balance. It won't be the same exact team. I don't think it should be, because it's going to be warm again. The guys put a lot into the last 2 games. You got turf. You got a midweek game against Toronto, and now a quick turnaround on 2 days rest. And you guys always hear me talk. The third one's the real hard one. If this game was Sunday, maybe we're having a different discussion, but it's Saturday, and we have to find a way to get the best group out there. We have the quality within those players. We have a great team that will field tomorrow, and we have to find a way to get a result.
We have enough time for one more question. David Melandri.
Hey Jim, quick question for you. You always talk about defending the home field. The last 5 home games you guys had, you haven't got a win. What do you think has been the biggest difference to lead you guys to not get those wins?
Scoring more than the other team. No, look, we know, we know what we have to do. We know we've gotten behind early in games and had to chase them. I think we've cleaned some things up on the defensive side, like you mentioned, which is a positive. But at home, where we're usually confident, I want to see us be a little more brave, right? Let's do it our way, the way that has been the Philadelphia Union way over the years here. Get the crowd into the game early. Get them behind us early. Not play negative. Let's play forward when we can. Right? We know we can play really good, attractive soccer for stretches. We know we might have to roll up the sleeves and grind and fight for stretches as well. We know we're going to need another big save from Oliver. We know we're going to need someone to step up and make a play and score a goal. So, collectively as a group now, let's look like us. Let's look like Philadelphia, and let's be brave about it. Win, lose, or draw. Let's play the way that we want to play, and we have played at home for several years.
All right, thanks, Jim. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.